Vegeta ends up hitting his head, becoming kind of like Goku in a way. And he kind of has a crisis because he doesn't know what to do now. As a good person, he's not going to be part of the Frieza Force. He wants something new in his life. That leads him, Raditz, and Nappa to Earth, with them finding Kakarot in the last part. But now what's going to happen? We'll be covering all that and more in this part 2 of What If Vegeta Hit His Head. Goku's excited to fight Vegeta. He does still think this guy might be a threat, but either way, he's going to have a fun battle. And they could tell Goku definitely has that same Saiyan spirit, even if he doesn't know that he's Kakarot, or a Saiyan in general for that matter. The fight begins, and Vegeta can immediately see that Goku's way too weak. Like, not just weak by Saiyan standards, just weak. Vegeta can't even really enjoy the fight because he only used a very small fraction of his power. He expected Kakarot to be weak because, he's a low-class Saiyan after all. That's what he's heard from Raditz and Nappa. But even they're surprised. Raditz thought that Kakarot would at least be at half his level. Of course he's still a kid, he's not fully grown. But really? This is all his power? Raditz and Nappa kind of think that this is a waste of time. Even if Kakarot joined them, he wouldn't really be of much help. They don't say this out loud, they just need an excuse to go. It's not like they're going to do anything to this planet either. They're not working for Frieza right now. And even if they were, this planet's kind of weak. If Kakarot's the strongest person here, which they suppose he is, then the rest of the planet must be very weak in comparison. And Vegeta sits there dodging all of Goku's attacks, with Goku amazed, wondering why he's not fighting back. Vegeta delivers one punch, heavily pulling it as well, and Goku can feel it ringing through his body. Holy crap, this guy's strong. It makes Goku wonder if he could ever reach this level. Apparently he's the same type of alien as them. Raditz and Nappa pull Vegeta aside, telling him this. They should just leave. Kakarot just seems to be a lost cause. Even if they were to train him, he's still this far behind. There's no way he can grow that quickly. But Vegeta says he has no idea where they're going to go anyways. He sees potential in him, and he doesn't say this out loud, but Vegeta likes him. He seems like a nice little dude. He's not like these other people that he's hung out with in the Frieza Force, especially these two Saiyans. And he doesn't know. Maybe if he trained Goku, gave him some guidance, he could help him grow a lot stronger. He thinks it's still worthwhile. Plus, another thing, this planet seems pretty peaceful. Vegeta thinks he could stay here for the time being, although he's unsure how that's going to work out. They come into a disagreement, and Nappa and Raditz just decide they're going to go off on their own. Vegeta needs to stop acting like this. Before they could deal with it, but now, why is he doing this? He wants to stay on this planet. They need to work on a way to defeat Frieza somehow. They can't waste time here. And Vegeta knows that, but he doesn't think they're going to get anything else done anywhere else. They might as well stay here and train this other Saiyan, so at least he could be a part of their crew. That's something. Raditz and Nappa think that it'll be better if they just grew stronger through normal combat, but Vegeta doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to go slaughtering people again with them. It's not like they're going to find any normal fights anyways, and even if they do go out and fight with normal people, they'll be spotted by Frieza somehow. At least here on Earth, their powers won't be sensed by any of the scouters. Where are they supposed to go now? Raditz and Nappa don't know. But Nappa takes initiative. He just decides to leave on his own. He tells Vegeta if he wants to stay here, then fine. Once he sorts out whatever stupid issues he's having, then he can come find them. Raditz doesn't know what to do either. And he looks over at Kakarot too, still confused as to why his brother is so weak. He doesn't really know how to react either, but he joins Nappa. They'll grow stronger in their own way, and then they'll come find Vegeta again. But Vegeta stands his ground. He's gonna stay here. And Goku asks where they're going, but Vegeta says not to worry about it. Goku is bummed out though. He wanted to learn more about his brother, and these other Saiyans too. Obviously he has no attachment to Raditz yet, but it could be cool to get to know him. But he wonders why Vegeta didn't leave. And honestly, Vegeta doesn't know either. This whole time, ever since he hit his head, he feels like he's grown detached from these people. At least they're loyal to him, but he wonders if they're truly his allies, or if they're his friends. It doesn't seem like Saiyans have the idea of friends. They have the idea of comrades, people that they fight with together, but he never sees them acting friendly. And it seems like those two only follow him because he's strong. Who knows, if he were just as weak as Raditz, would they even care? Would they follow him? Would they help him? He's also apparently an elite, but that doesn't really matter anymore anyways. There's only a few Saiyans left, so what is he even the prince of? He looks over to Goku. He says he could tell. He's far different from the other Saiyans, not just in strength, but just in his nature. It's still not too late to leave. He could go find Raditz and Nappa. Is he really just gonna stay here? Just after meeting Goku for a little bit, is he gonna really decide to throw that all away and just stay here? He really doesn't want to go back. He knows what they're doing. They're gonna go back to the normal combat that they're used to. Hell, they might even go back to Frieza. They're so used to fighting, doing that in their lives, growing stronger that way. So Vegeta doesn't really have a choice. He either has to go back with them and then be found by Frieza, and then he has no chance of surviving, or he could stay here. Maybe find a new life for himself. It seems the Saiyan Kakarot has done so. And if Vegeta decides he wants to leave, he can. He has a spaceship. But he still wonders why Goku is this way. Why is he so kind, it seems? And why does he not know that he's a Saiyan? Why does he not go by Kakarot? Well, Goku says like he said before. If they want to ask Roshi, he'd probably know a little bit about what happened with him. He knew Grandpa Gohan after all. Grandpa Gohan? Yeah, Goku says he never knew his parents. Which makes sense to Vegeta. But he's surprised that Goku doesn't at least remember them. He doesn't remember them or what happened to them. Goku gets on Nimbus and flies to the Turtle School, with Vegeta following behind. And Goku's actually surprised that Vegeta could just fly on his own. That's awesome! He wants to learn how to do that too. Vegeta's pretty quick as well, and he tells Goku he has a better idea. He carries Goku on his back as Goku directs him. with Vegeta being a much faster transport than Nimbus. They land at Kame House, with Roshi freaking out as he sees someone flying over. It's some guy carrying Goku, and they land there. Goku seems pretty happy, and this other guy too. He notices he has a tail. He's wearing some sort of weird armor. He asks Goku who his friend is, a little bit concerned. There's a few others at Turtle School too, Yamcha and Krillin. They obviously want to know the same thing, so Goku explains. This is a lot for Roshi to take in, and that's when Vegeta inquires, does he know why Goku is this way? Well, from what Roshi can recall, that actually did happen. When he was a kid, Goku was dropped on his head. And apparently that same thing happened to Vegeta. Not the exact same way, obviously, but he took a blow to the head and that's why he's this way now. But he didn't realize that Goku was an alien, just as Vegeta thought. This confirms everything. That's why he turned out this way. It's because he hit his head, and Goku learns of this too. He didn't realize that happened, and Roshi's suspicious about this Vegeta guy. But he has one way to figure out if he's telling the truth. He tells Goku to call Nimbus, and he does. It takes a bit, but Nimbus arrives. And he asks Vegeta to try and sit on that cloud. He says only those who are pure of heart could do so, and this will truly tell him if Vegeta is pure of heart or not. Well, Vegeta knows his mindset has changed, but he doesn't know if his heart has. He doesn't even know how he was beforehand. He still has all those sins in his past, apparently. But he tries it anyways, and for a bit, he does stay on the cloud, which amazes Roshi. He's telling the truth, and somehow, hitting his head actually turned him pure, which is strange because from what Vegeta's saying, before he wasn't even like that. He didn't say that right off the bat because he didn't want to freak Roshi out, but apparently he was a pretty bad guy beforehand. Well, he tells Vegeta he's welcome to stay here, especially with a power like that. He could probably help train Goku up even more too. Roshi still has a bunch of things to teach Goku, but if this guy's a Saiyan just like Goku, who knows the type of things that Goku can learn from him? Now, Vegeta did have a few things in mind. He wants to see if Goku can grow stronger in any way. The gravity here is very weak, so that kind of explains one reason why Goku's so weak. But there's also the fact that he apparently doesn't know what a great ape is. He has his tail again, but he's never learned to control that form. He doesn't even really know he can transform. So maybe Vegeta can help work with him on that. Roshi also mentions there's a tournament coming up soon, if Vegeta wanted to join. And Vegeta's tempted because that sounds pretty fun, but he'll just watch it instead. He knows if he jumps in, he'll win regardless. His power is way too far beyond everybody else's. But at least he knows he could stay on Earth for the time being. Everyone is still terrified of him. He's an alien that just showed up out of nowhere and apparently he's part of a race of warriors. Of course they're going to be freaked out. But if Goku's the same way, and Vegeta's apparently pure with the way he hit his head, well, maybe it's fine. And if they only recognize that this is an April Fool's scenario and that there's some weird stuff going on in general, then they'd probably be more fine with it. Since there's still a good amount of time before the tournament, Vegeta spends some time trying to train Goku. He's got nothing else better to do anyways. And because of this, Goku grows a lot stronger. He's still weak by Saiyan standards obviously, but Vegeta sees that he has a ton of potential, especially because he's already a great martial artist. So by the time the actual tournament rolls around, well, Goku's basically going to win by default. With him being a lot stronger, he ends up facing Tenshinhan. And instead of having a tough time, he's able to win here too, claiming victory and being very glad that he finally won a tournament. Roshi's a bit concerned that he won this early, but it seems like he's not going to let it go to his head, which is the main thing he's been concerned about, especially because of what kind of influence Vegeta would have on him. Although, it seems like Vegeta hasn't really changed Goku too much. If anything, Goku's going to change Vegeta. He's pretty much kept to himself. He's tried to train a bit, but he didn't really have any good resources for that, or anyone to train with for that matter. He's already strong as is, but of course he still does want to grow stronger. He's still worried. He could just stay here for the time being, like he kind of planned in the first place, and he wants to prepare for Frieza, but he doesn't know what to do. And he doesn't want to go out and find the other two Saiyans either, so he's just going to have to play the cards he's dealt. And there's a few other interesting things in the tournament too. This is the first time Vegeta actually meets Bulma. Although she's still with Yamcha, but she thinks this guy is pretty interesting. I mean, he's kind of mysterious too, but nothing really happens yet. Another big thing that happens is that right after the tournament, Tambourine attacks, trying to kill Krillin. And Krillin's terrified, knowing that he's going to die here. But right as Tambourine's about to attack, somebody steps in front of Krillin, saving him. Tambourine tries to fight back, but he can't do anything, and Krillin sees who it is. It's that Vegeta guy. He saw Goku hanging around him before, and Vegeta wasn't in the tournament for some reason, but he was watching. And he can't believe what he's seeing. Vegeta tells Krillin to get out of there, and Tambourine briefly tries to fight Vegeta. And Vegeta learns what he's up to. King Piccolo sent him. They're going to kill all the tournament contestants. And Tambourine tells Vegeta, even if he dies here, it doesn't matter. He still has all his brothers that are going to help him. And Vegeta quickly realizes, Earth is under threat now. He defeats Tambourine, and this is the first time he's been in a real battle, even though Tambourine's not even comparable to him. But now they're facing true evil opponents. At least in the time being, he could help. Krillin already warned the others, and Vegeta then meets up with them, having defeated Tambourine already. He tells them he's not sure who this King Piccolo guy is, but he'll try and stop him. And Roshi asks if he's really sure about that. From what he knows about King Piccolo, he's far too strong for anybody here. But Vegeta reminds Roshi, he's not like anyone else from here. He's not even from here. He's confident that he can defeat whoever this is. But he needs to make quick work, because apparently, the attack's already underway. He has no way to sense Ki, unfortunately, but maybe he could still track down everybody, as long as he knows a general location of everybody. He tells everyone he'll be right back, as he rockets off. And Goku tells him to wait up, and much to everyone's surprise, he also jumps up and flies away. Wait, When did Goku learn how to fly? Goku catches up to him, telling Vegeta he wants to help too, but Vegeta says it might be too dangerous. But Goku has a pretty good idea. Maybe they should gather the Dragon Balls. If there's already an attack underway, that doesn't matter. If they get these, they can revive everybody. And this is the first time Vegeta's actually hearing about the Dragon Balls too. Interesting. Well, maybe it'll be a good thing to gather them. That way they'll have them as a backup in case anyone does die. But this ends up working in their favor in more ways than they thought. Goku and Vegeta go to get the Dragon Radar that they need. And they see that some of the Dragon Balls are already on the move. That must be King Piccolo's doing. And if that's what's going on, that means they could actually locate King Piccolo and his sons that way. If they're aiming to get the Dragon Balls too, as well as killing all the Torment people, they can kill 2 birds with 1 stone this way. They get the Dragon Balls, and they protect them too, while also finding King Piccolo and the others. If only he had that extra scouter he came with, that would make things a lot easier. Vegeta's able to locate a lot of King Piccolo's kids, making quick work of them, with Goku also jumping in trying to fight, although it's still a lot tougher for him, even though he's much stronger than normal. Roshi and all the others are worried. Even Ten and Chaozu went to Kame House, wondering if they could help with this anyhow. They saw how strong Goku was, and wonder if maybe they could pursue that same strength at the Turtle School. But then they come to learn what Goku truly is. Either way though, they're all under a common threat now, King Piccolo. But before everyone knows it, Vegeta's able to defeat most of King Piccolo's kids, with Goku helping out too. And they eventually track down King Piccolo himself. And obviously Vegeta's gonna have no problem here either. And he defeats King Piccolo pretty easily, knocking him completely unconscious with no effort at all. He prepares the finishing blow, but then someone else teleports in. Someone who looks like the demons that they just fought. Well, one thing that Vegeta finds kind of weird is that King Piccolo looked actually like a Namekian if anything, not a demon. And now that he sees this other guy, he looks exactly like Piccolo, which means he looks exactly like a Namekian too. He does remember Nappa vaguely mentioning this at one point, but it was in passing and he forgot pretty much all he knew about them. But it is interesting to note that there might be other aliens here. Kami tells Vegeta to wait. He'll explain everything. He looks like Piccolo, but he's not him. He wants to help them defeat this monster, but they're gonna seal him away, not kill him. Vegeta has no clue who this guy is and thinks that he might be a threat too. Same for Goku. But Kami then turns around, seeing that Piccolo's already unconscious. Good. He tells him to watch this. This will be proof enough. He places down a small pod and performs a Mafuba, sealing King Piccolo away, tiring himself out but then looking back at Vegeta. That should be proof enough that he's on their side. He just resealed King Piccolo. He says he'll explain who he is. He's Kami, the Guardian of Earth, basically God here. He says if King Piccolo were to die, he would too, and the Dragon Balls would be gone. He wouldn't have intervened otherwise, but he saw that Vegeta already defeated Piccolo, and he's wanted to find Vegeta for a while too, but didn't know when to actually go see it. He's been keeping tabs on Vegeta. I mean, there are these aliens that just randomly showed up and were incredibly powerful. As Guardian, he needs to make sure Earth is safe. He knows Vegeta is definitely a strong warrior, and could have been a potential threat, but looking into Vegeta's heart, he could tell now, he's not. Seeing him in person, he's surprised. There's no malice in Vegeta at all. And also that Goku kid. He's known about Goku for a while as well. But where do we go from here then? After the events of the King Piccolo arc, nobody sees Goku or Vegeta for a while, wondering where they are. But at the 23rd World Tournament, they feel like they'll meet up with the two of them again. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. They see Goku and Vegeta there once more, surprised to see them after so long. Goku's actually been training under Kami, and Vegeta went up there too. He had nowhere else better to train, and while he couldn't grow too much under Kami, it still was worthwhile to go there. But he's also went off on his own too, trying to figure out new ways to train. And they ask if he's going to join this tournament, but he knows that's going to probably make it way too uninteresting. He's still way stronger than everyone else, but Goku's still going to join at least. And there's a few big differences with this tournament. Piccolo's not there first of all. There's no threat at that tournament, and Kami doesn't end up joining it either. And with Goku being so much stronger than before too, he was pretty much bound to win anyways. But now it's made even easier, with Goku once again winning the tournament. He's kind of making a name for himself by doing this. It was a great way to test his strength and see his friends again. There's no threat here because it's just another normal tournament. Nothing crazy happens. But Vegeta's still concerned though. He hasn't heard from the other Saiyans at all. He hasn't seen them in all these years, or Frieza for that matter. And of course he's been trying to grow stronger too, but more so, he's actually been trying to just enjoy life on Earth. It's so weird having this nice change of pace. Granted, he doesn't remember too much of his time with the Frieza Force anyways, but now, he's on this peaceful planet, just living life. And even though he couldn't learn a lot in terms of strength from Goku and Kami, or Roshi for that matter, he still learned a lot otherwise. He could still grow mentally, and as a warrior he's seeing gains in other ways besides physical strength, but he still wondered what the other two are up to. So let's actually cover that. Raditz and Nappa want to still defeat Frieza on their own. Vegeta's too unstable and soft. They can't follow him anymore. They don't have the same faith in him that they did before. But they don't necessarily want to turn on him either. They're not enemies, just no longer affiliated with him. They'll take over the Frieza Force on their own, but first they're going to need to grow stronger, and if they return, they're going to need some sort of story. The only way they could actually grow stronger is going back to the Frieza Force. They don't see any other ways to do so, especially because they have so many resources that could help them, such as those healing pods for example. So, without anything else in mind, they actually do return to the Frieza Force. And they tell Frieza some made-up story that allows them to rejoin. It covers them and Vegeta at the same time. In their story, Vegeta ended up betraying them. He's been acting weird after all, so Frieza kind of buys this. But how are they still alive? Vegeta was so much stronger than them. Well, they explain. He trapped them by misguiding them, and they went to some other planet to fight. and Vegeta tried to kill them there, but the only way they ended up winning was by destroying Vegeta's spaceship and detonating the planet. With Vegeta having no way off the planet, he was stranded, and he must have died in outer space. That's why they came back without their scouters, and why Vegeta didn't come back. And thankfully, Frieza actually buys the story. He's glad to see their loyalty. He's still suspicious though, but the story checks out. It's strange that Vegeta turned on them, but also at the same time, Vegeta's just been acting weird in general. And at least they got rid of that thorn from his side, and the two Saiyans are glad that he bought that. But what's their next move supposed to be? Yeah, they could stay here and grow stronger that way, but what do they do now? With the seeds of a rebellion planted, they still want that rebellion to happen. Maybe there's other Saiyans out there that they could seek. They don't know for sure. But in the meantime, they're going to find strength in their own way. And this is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? And what's going to happen next time? Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. It really helps out the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.